Another earnest question, just talk about, he seems to have a very alpha dog personality for a freshman. His quick feet, but also his quick hands.
Yeah.
And how you see that of him going forward.
You know, he fouled too much the other day. He just doesn't understand yet. He will. You know, he fouled when, Boone obviously was hurting us, but you know, he fouled when he had him at 18 feet or 15 feet a couple of times. But you know, he's trying hard. But he had 6 deflections the first half of the last 2 games, which is a ridiculously high number for anybody, let alone a big guy that plays limited minutes. So, you know, to your point, his feet and hands both are very quick and everything. I thought he played pretty well the other day. I didn't think he played probably as efficiently as he did against OU, but he's getting more and more confidence all the time.
And you know, your creative expectations don't change. You're making the other team not play well, and your toughness level, it seems to have really picked up the last 3 games. Talk about that, and is it kind of on schedule?
Yeah, you know what, I don't know that we did anything defensively the other night to make OSU play bad. Heck, they shot 50% as well, or right at it, or whatever it was. Was it right at 50? I think it was, so you guys should know that. So I don't think we did anything exceptional, but I do think we competed harder, and a lot of times it's hard to, you know, hold teams to a lower percentage playing on the road than it is at home, just because of comfort level and things like that. But we have been a different looking team, whether or not we played well or not. I know matters, but just from an appearance in the locker room, tight huddle, you know, things like that. We've looked better and certainly more cohesive in the last week and a half or so.
Kevin said after that game the other night that he'd been telling your freshmen, you know, you're not freshmen anymore. You've played a lot now, all that stuff. Number one, do you subscribe to that generally?
I don't think other than Grady, they really have played a lot.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you subscribe to that in general? But then, is it necessarily true with this group?
Yeah, it needs to be true, whether it's actually 100% factual or not. It needs to be true. You know, we used to say that all the time. Well, guys, you're not a freshman anymore. You play 400 minutes, you know, or whatever the deal is. And although, you know, our freshmen haven't played, with the exception of Grady, you know, a ton of minutes, we're getting to the point where they all need to, you know, play beyond their years and certainly beyond their experience, if not their years. And I think Ernest is doing a really good job with that.
Flipping that over, when you look at Baylor and their freshman Keontae, what did you learn about him first time seeing him?
Well, I've known Keontae for a while. We recruited Keontae.
Sure.
And he visited, and you know, we knew he was going to be one of the best freshmen in the country wherever he went to school. I mean, he's one of the few guys out there that was a can't miss type prospect, and you know, even though other schools definitely did miss, you know, he's been able to show off his skill set there at Baylor in a big way, and you know, he's terrific. He's terrific. I do think it helps him a lot having those 2 little guys playing next to him as well. You know, that's the best, you know, threesome in America, without question, offensively. There's no team in America that's got 3 guards like they got, and they can all get their own, and they can create for other. Keontae's a terrific passer, has great vision, and you know, they're hard to guard because they can take and make, you know, hard shots. Shots that you say, no, good shot. And they're all really good at that.
Rough start there, but you did bounce back and got the lead, and then it got away after that. But what do you remember about the first matchup?
Well, I've watched it. I thought that we were, you know, from an energy standpoint and everything, we didn't do anything to make them uncomfortable. Nothing. And even statistically, when you go back and look at the things that matter to us from an energy standpoint, things like that, they won almost every statistical category in the stats that aren't really stats.
What are those?
Offensive rebound attempts,
okay,
deflection, dives, charges taken, you know, things that 50-50 balls, you know, things that don't show up in the points, rebounds, and assists turnovers, but they have just as big an impact on the game. And I thought they controlled that area. And so, even though that we did some good things and we had the lead for a brief moment in the second half, we didn't do enough to put real game pressure on them in the last 4 minutes. And that's what you hope when you're playing a top 10 type team, when you're playing on the road, is at least make them sweat and think, and we didn't do enough to quite do that down there. Even though it's a 6-point game, to me it didn't feel like it was a 6-point game, even though we had a couple of chances late and botched those up.
Bill, is there like talking about a conference race, is there like a number that you have in mind? Obviously you don't want to lose at all, but that you think wins the conference this year?
I don't know if I would think 5 would for sure win it.
Mm-hmm.
I would think 6 would have a shot. But anybody goes 13-5 in our league, because when you look at it, because we play each other. I mean, so somebody's got to lose in the games where you play each other. So I would think, obviously if a team were to win out, it'd be done. But I could be wrong. I think Texas still has us, Baylor, and Iowa State left. I could be off on that. I know Baylor still has, and I think Texas may have TCU left as well. I can't go through them all, but there's opportunities for great wins, and there's also opportunities for somebody to get you on everybody's schedule. So 4-1 the rest of the way, I would guarantee it. Would win it and getting to 12. Although I don't think that's the percentage play, I do think there's a chance I could get a piece of it. But I think 13 would be a number that anybody that's in our league right now would be very content with.
Something you talked a lot about in December was ball and body movement offensively. Do you feel like you guys have improved there kind of the last 3 games?
Well, I've talked about that every day for the last 20 years. That's always an emphasis of ours. Probably more important now the way we play than maybe it was when we ran more of a traditional high-low type stuff. But I think it's been better at times. I do. I think some of our best possessions that we have are when we say, okay, we're going to make 5 passes, or we're going to run our offense as fast as we can and not even worry about getting a shot. Just run it as fast as we can, and then something always seems to come open because we do that. But it takes a lot of energy to play that way, and you're not going to sustain that over a course of 40 minutes. But I do think when we run good offense, it's been primarily because of what you said.
And how have DeJuan and Kevin, what's kind of their status look like for Saturday?
I haven't seen either one of them because we were obviously off yesterday. But they've all had at least 4 treatment sessions so far since we've been back, and maybe 5. And I don't know that either one of them will practice today, but I'm hopeful that they can be on the court tomorrow. And if they're on the court tomorrow, they'll play Saturday.
And then with Zach and Bobby, they were both dressed for the game on Tuesday. Are they available?
Well, Bobby played.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he didn't play much, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to play much unless we just had to play him. And fortunately, it was a situation when one got hurt, we kind of had to. But he wasn't out there a lot. But I do think his availability will be more come Saturday and hopefully Monday, just because we kind of bought another week by giving him, even though he played, he didn't really have to push it. And so hopefully we bought a little bit of time in him becoming more whole. And Zach's still bothered by his knee. But, you guys know we're not going to play 11 guys, more than likely, but he's still bothered by his knee. So even though he would have been available to put in the game, he wouldn't have been 100%. And he may not be for another little while to actually play. But he could, get out there at 85 or 90%, but he's still not 100% though.
Any Zuby or Cam injuries updates?
Well, Zuby played. So Zuby will play. So, but Cam's not. Cam's shoulder's still not well, so he won't play.
Baylor's hot, obviously. You guys have won 3 in a row, defending national champs 2 years in a row. How big a game is this? game day and all that.
Yeah, I think game day adds to it, but I don't think game day in the players' minds makes it a bigger game. I think it's a pretty big, damn big game regardless if game day was here or not. I still think both teams would be excited to play. But of course, we love game day being here. But yeah, it's a big game. And it's a big game for a lot of reasons. One's the next game. You know, it's not the biggest game we're gonna play this year. And it's certainly not the biggest game Baylor's gonna play this year. But up until this point, it's probably about as big a game as we played this year. So yeah, I think it's a big game both ways.
What NBA players might be back?
You know, I don't know I think CB and Oach will be back, but I don't know. I haven't talked to all of them, so I don't know who all will positively be back, but I'm sure CB and Oach will want to come back just so they can have everybody cheer for them. So.
Last two games, offense has been pretty beautiful, whatever you wanna call it. How do you look at it?
I think it's been pretty good because it's been balanced. You know, we've been getting the ball to the basket, we've been scoring points in the paint, you know, we've had pretty good ball and body movement to the point over here. And you know, we haven't shot it great from beyond the arc, but what were we the other day? 40%? It's close to 40. I know Grady was 4-9 or whatever, but I don't remember. But we shot it fairly well. I mean, and against OU, we didn't shoot it great, but we made enough, and so. I think the balance of it has probably been as good as anything, and it's been different guys. You know, it was Grady the other night, but you know, against Texas, you know, we had basically 5 or 6 in double figures, and Jay Will wasn't one of them. So yeah, there's been a lot of positive things like that.
What is your reaction to the Chiefs winning it, and were you tempted to go to the parade? And what do you think of the whole Andy Reid winning it and the whole deal?
I actually think it's fantastic that they won. It's great for them. It's, you know, I don't know them all well, but certainly I've gotten a chance to know Andy a little bit and Travis some, and those are, you know, better people than they are actually at their gig. I mean, they're class, and so yeah, we're all really happy for them. It means a lot to our students and everybody in our area when the Chiefs do well. There's one thing about you know, our community, whether you're a K-State or Missouri or a KU guy, there's some division. I don't think there's any division when we talk about the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are the organization as far as and it's Royals too, but the Chiefs to me. There's absolutely nobody that supports any institution that would argue that they don't like the Chiefs if they're from here. So I think it's great, and you know, I'm really big in parades, but I did not even think about bearing the cold or attending that yesterday after a pretty long night on Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Coach.
I guess.
Thanks, Vince.